Can anybody see? Does anybody know? I left off in the last picture, okay? Whoop, a card just fell out. There's a burn mark on the back, and it's the 3 of hearts. The alignment of Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune. Tell me where they are. I want to know if they're like this. Nothing really aligns like this. You know why nothing aligns like this? Because your genes are made like this. Your genes are not making like this. Anything that goes like this is intertwining to create the one seam like this and the one seam like that. The Jews have been working in it for life. They call it material. Okay? The same thing of this world. It's material. When you see a different material, okay, each material, okay, has a strength. Okay, so when certain materials go, you got to replace it. And the one that's running the matrix is like that. So they got to run down here and then go like this. Then run down here and then go like this. Then run down here and then go like this. Shark teeth. The 3 rows of shark teeth. Rubik's Cube. Ta-doing, ta-doing. You want to hop? You want to just go all the way around? They connect your mind here. They go all the way around to here. And they go underneath as a football. And in the center is you. I did the GOP numbers. Okay. 7 and 4. 7 in the box. 4 out of the box. Why? 7 in roulette is red. 4 is black. 203 are together in the same box. 2 is black, 3 is red, but it says 20. It's number 23. Okay, it's 20 black plus the creation is number 23 in the center. The lucky number 23, which is 5. 4 is above it. When 4 is above the 23, it's like in the Olympics. You can put 3 on one side and the 2 on the other, or 2 on the other and 4 on the other. And in the center, okay, 2 goes inside the 4 and you lose it on the 4 dice. The 2, okay, loses in the 4 dice because it's the same corners. The 3, right, which is opposite of the 4. The 3, which is opposite of the 4. So it's already a parallel. They're against each other. 3 versus 4. But when you go on the telephone, it starts from the 4 here, it goes over, it goes up and over. It crosses through 5, and it starts to make an X. 1 goes to 6, 4 goes to 3, 2 and 5 in the middle. So then you have 1, 6 on the outside where you have 4, 3, and the trap is number 7, 2, 5 in the center. Why 2, 5? Because 5 and 2 minus and plus, okay, is 5 minus 3 is 2. And then 3 minus 5 is 2. 202. 20/20 vision. 20/20, 2 worlds. 5 by 4, 5 by 4. 5, 4, 5, 4. Holy fuck, that used to be my old bank code. 5454 is my ex-wife's name. She called herself Lil. And Lil is 5454. But if you really wanted the single count, L is 3, I is 9, L is 3. 39, 39, 78, GH, she brought me in a beautiful son. You want your mind not to be like a penguin. You don't want to think of the same thing over and over because you repeat. Like one sold from the bird in the sky that once said, fuck, today is just like yesterday, I may as well have a drink. Smoke weed, man. Smoke weed and play a game. Smoke weed and play a game and forget about life. Follow the rules of the game. You went to play the game, you took the piece, you asked your friend to play with you. Read the rules. It says it's a game, and in all games, everybody is a friend of each other. But when it's time for the dice to make a move, the dice will do what they have to do. But you do it in the game. You smoke marijuana, my friends. You are tripping. You're into a new world. You see things you haven't seen before. Why? Because your imagination has been flowing. And it's full and it's in there. At first it might be hard and nothing will be noticed. Relax, man. Think about the dinosaurs while you're in there. Have an imagination. The minute you start to have your own personal imagination, look at things to be coincidence to remind you of something. And then the minute you get a coincidence reminder, that'll take you on a trail. Smoke weed, man. Smoke weed, man. What do you think they're taking away the weed for? If the Jamaicans are allowed to smoke it, how come them? Why is the world some could and some can't? Because it must be a balance. Nobody is sure at the end. And when you're not sure if you're a Jamaican, you stay home so you can smoke for the rest of your life, or you don't give a shit. You ever see the Jamaican's eyes? It's not like a black person. It's not a normal black person. Okay? The Jamaican eyes, they got the weed in their eyes. I see it. That yellow that turns at the end of the year when the leaf goes down but the tree stays up. It's all in the weed, man. Mary, do you want it? Do you have to? Could you? It's all in that Jesus fish that locked you up over here. Your arm should have stopped over here and here, but your arms went all the way up and got locked by the policeman in the air. You want to go say something? We should all be in the streets with our hands in the air like this. Put your hands in the air, man. Put your hands in the air and go downtown and say, thank you, downtown. You did what you had to do. The judges judging and the people pushing and the money rocking, and I come home with nothing after I drove 2 hours to go downtown. Why did I go downtown? For the extra cash, for the extra bustle, for the extra push in the mind that you have to think all night, that you haven't had time to think of anything else but the work, work, work. The number 5 becomes the number 7. And the 9 is hostage to 7. Would you like to know why? Because 9 to a 10-10 is 1. 7 and 1, okay, is 8 of the heaven. But to make that 7, it was 6 and 1, 7. 8 over 7 equals 15, A and E, arts and entertainment. Also the omega egg. Keep switching on every level. Don't forget. Number 4 is on the 2nd level in the 1st position. 5, 6, 7 is on the 2nd level of the 1st position in the center, 1 away from the next of center. 9 on top, 10, 11, 12, and number 13 is actually number 7. Why? Because like I said on the phone, 1 and 6, okay, and 9 and 4, they're the same mark. Do it on your phone. I'm going to do it. Hold on. So, what was I talking about? The same mark on your phone, the same mark, 9 and 7. 9 and 7. Wow, how did I forget that? What was I thinking? What was I looking at? I can't show myself as wrong. 9 and 1, 7 and 1. Oh yes, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 6, 7, 6. Boom, 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 boom. 4, 9. Then I go boom, boom, 2, 5, and 8. Okay. On the phone, this is the way it works. Why does it work this way? They're all escalators. It's in the dice. Whatever we're doing together now, or whatever you're watching, okay, is only the rules of the games. It's not me. The only thing I add in is I said number 1 is the P and the number 2 is the shit. Number 1 is the father, number 2 is the mother. But in this world it's reversed. 1 is the mother and 2 is the father. Why? Because he has to go on the outside of everything now. He's playing from within your heart. He's catching you on the 360 degrees. Up 90 degrees, down 90 degrees, left or right 90 degrees, makes the 4 hats in the Jack cards. First of all, here's the king's hat. Okay? Now they rounded it out over time so we can get lost. But you see over here, this part over here? Okay? That part can be found. It's a little bit dark, but it can be found in the hat here. See those 3 yellow marks? See the way the hat is split with 3 little hats inside? Right? Well, if you take a look at the 3 little hats, when you look at the club on his hat, the ocean club, that would fit right inside, okay? And you see the sword he's holding towards his head, right? If you take a good look at the card, his front hand, okay, on my right, okay, where the piano teeth are, that's his hand. That hand in the back cannot be his hand, because you see his little hand on the top, but his other hand comes all the way down, because his thumb is on the bottom. Do you understand? Let me take a look at the card. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because he stands like this, he's looking that way, his thumb is on the bottom, the way it's supposed to be, but then he has his other hand up against his own head, front like this, holding what? If you take a look what he's holding. He's holding it with 5 fingers. It's his hair. It's part of his hair. It's not a sword, it's part of the hair. He's taking one spirit and he's putting stripes on it. He's getting it ready to put into the game. You see his heart? 2, 4, 6, and 8 is red. Venus, red. Mars, red. Saturn, red. Neptune in red. But Neptune, for some reason, doesn't go with them. If the black worlds, Mercury, Earth, Uranus, and Pluto, and Neptune go together, and the only thing we'd be actually left with is Venus, Mars, and Earth. Venus, Mars, and Earth. 3 planets, 3 moons. One the mother, one the daughter, and the 2 sons. 6, 4, and 2 equals 12. 2 dice, 6 and 6. She takes it home. She doesn't need. Does she need 3 if she takes Saturn with her? No, because Saturn makes up for 2 of them. So if you only want 1 of them, what you'd have to do is you drop Saturn for Earth. And then you would have Earth, Mars, like I just said, and Venus. That design, Earth, Venus, and then Mars would be here. And we'd end up seeing a boomerang. We'd see a boomerang. Oh my God. Look at this. Look what it makes. It makes the true shape of what the baseball should be. One end over here is Mars. One over here is Earth. They twist between 2 rows from the furthest to the longest without going over to the last one. If they go to the last one, all the pressure is over here. 2 boomerangs make up the baseball, and that baseball award is, as what it is, the baseball is like the boomerang because it goes around on 2 sides. So the other part of this boomerang would be Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now they always talked about the Star of Bethlehem, and Saturn is Saturday. We're going to get off that and lose everybody right now. Okay? Time is up, my friends. There's a lady out there. She's crying. She's crying. She's crying. She's crying so much. I saw her cry in her beautiful words. She said very little but the truth. This is the conscious time. It is the 21st of the month. 21 and 10 is 31. Halloween starts today. 3 days of creation for the masks to come off, which is 1.5 days. Once it hits the 1.5 days, it jumps already in for 1.5 days where it comes to the creation part, and then 4 more days where the child is born according to the dice, the D, and that'll be the reaction that will happen in the 5th day after. That would either be Friday or Thursday. So if she's talking today, by Friday or Thursday, and Friday is, and in 5 days from now it's Earth Day. If they jump over the train tracks, that means it's all over and now we're picking up. So they stay before the train tracks. So on the 21st, which is the day of Jack, it's also the day of 2 spirits meeting each other, in which this spirit is here and this one is over here. And what you notice that is missing is 2 parts of God are being taken over by somebody else. She got everything in here. Do you know why? She uses what's on her opposite side. 5 and the 4 versus creation. 5 and the 4 Words is creation. One of the good reasons of creation is because only God can come back to the total of 5. God is all the corners in every 5 you want. Okay? God is also 1 because he's 1 inside the 3. Whatever is left over is 2, 3, 4 or 4, 3, 2. Why? Because of the 5. 3 makes 7, 2 makes 7. You can name to me any number you want. I'm going to pick up a game and I'm going to tell you what the game said. Then I'm going to first tell you my definitions of everything and then what the game said, because you've got to concentrate on my definitions. Use my definitions as the primary corrective. Then change everything based on my book, not on a new book. We're not looking to grow another tree. We have one tree, it's enough. Okay? Let's just grow and spread. If we're going to grow anything else, we're going to separate our trunk in 2, like the nose of an elephant. And we're going to expand and fall to the ground and regrow until we intertwine in the dinosaur bones of the trees of history. The trees that told every story of life, because somehow somebody took a tree and they cut it into a small sliver this big. And they somehow found an instrument that was able to read the design, some kind of rock. I think they call it the diamond stone. It's a certain size diamond that they put right on the tree. And with the current that goes into it and the current that goes through this still living tree, because it's still wet, they talk to each other and they find out what the tree had to say. And right now the trees are not talking a good story. The birds seem to have gone off. The story is the next 5 days. We must understand our halo. It's our own self of the goodness within. As it goes up, it breaks apart from the truth of who you are that the body knows to whatever you had to say that to deceive your own mind and the minds of others around you. Don't you think once that once you make a person disbelieve in you, he always comes around with a black shoulder. He already knows your story's no good. Now he's got to figure out why it's good. You gave him 2 reasons not to like you. Not who you are and what you look like. Yeah, you're a good guy, you're a pal. When it comes to trust, it's a whole new ballgame. The spirit is money and no one is trusted with it. They charge us interest rates and take things away. Well, the spirit of your heart is the same thing. You don't have to feel what I can feel, because I have to go there. I have no choice. It's the best place. Because upon working on my interior mind, at the same time, I let the floodgates roll inside my brain, the water outside, the feelings all mix inside my own halo of purity, and deceit is divided. What is, what I know. If nobody corrects me or tries to just at least sets me on a path of a properness of a different view, that's fine. But please, show me only the road. Let me choose which path I will take. If I still believe that my words are great and you believe that my words are all deceit, I will remember forever to check everything I say, so that whatever I do is part of the game, part of the book. The book is the game. The movies. Today is a day when you must lie on the couch, put your head back like a couch potato and fall asleep. No. When you feel that buzz coming on, you jump up, pop open your eyes and go, wow, I'm buzzed. You go to the fridge, take a little beer, just a little bit, 4 or 5 ounces. You don't need any more. It says on the permit, 2, 3, or 4 ounces minimum, depending on size, height, and weight, and if you're really buzzed or not. The hops of the beer, of the bunny, of the hat, and the cat in the hat. Of your own mind just swimming around, but you don't want to play. Play a game. Be number 5. Stay on the tracks. Don't go anywhere. Play it with your head. Take a number that you choose. We must come together inside understanding the drugs is our mind is a drug. We work on drugs. All these things you see on your cellular boxes are all drugs. They are all chemicals from the chemical element standards of the world, of the entire world, of this earth. Plus or minus a couple of different, what they call acupuncturation. The body is only a transportation within all the minds within. The mind lives in a realm which is in a body that sees from 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. He sees the ground as he sees and feels the sky. But he puts into the sky a murmur, a cry, because it's only for him and what he wants. Did you ever see the eyes of a Jamaican? Look at the eyes of the black people. They're all really white eyes. They fucked them up. They gave them the eyes of a white man. They gave them their own brown in the background. They changed their hair around. The jungle is where it comes from, my friends. Where you look sleek and the skin is oily, the way we were supposed to be, keeping in the good nutrients and blocking out that old air. And I'm not talking about any religion, because guess what? I'm just as black as any black guy. Can't dance, got a lot of soul. Thing is, my dick is half the length. That's the difference. The penicillin of the horse and their long penis is because what Venus has to do to extend herself over and above in the 7 and 9 on the star is actually Venus sticking her feet into Mercury and Earth and not into Uranus at all. It's the star key of your telephone and the pound key with the 0 in the middle. The egg is because she's got both sides of you. She went around again. She's on number 10 and 12, equaling 22 for life. That's why the triangle, I'm going to try and do this if I could. Do, 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 she's holding you up here in the hat, then she's got you over here, she's got you right between her eyes. She's holding you right between her eyes, right between her eyes, right between her eyes, right between her eyes. And she goes all the way down to 7, crossing over 9, and then we come over here to 2 again, and then over here is 3, and then over here is 1, and in the center is 5. This is what it is. See over here? Here's her 2 eyes. Here's her nose. This little dot over here from India, okay, shows she's got you right between her 2 eyes and she sees everything you're doing. This is Venus. This is Jupiter. This is Pluto. And then all the way down over here to Mercury. Because she goes all the way down. They said it's a curved universe, right? Curves all the way back around. It makes a whole big X in the back, just like the suspenders the men used to wear before, where it went straight in the front. It went straight because it was going to curve soon. It was only straight because of the added lines of the Christ, the crisscross of the page, this page. Before it comes around again, the curvature comes around to where right here, okay, right here, not here, but over here. I should be doing everything in a V. Nothing is really in a line. Right over here is Mercury. Right over here is Earth. She doesn't go up here. Why? Because what happens is this, okay, is not number 3, okay? It is the 3 as position if you flip it upside down, but it's actually 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8. At the same time, it flips over again, and this would be roulette. What would it be? What would it be? 10, 11, 12. It would be 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. 8, 16, 17, 18. 11, 8, star, 1, 7, 15, 15, 8. I'm still trying to. Can you see it? You just see it the way it is? I couldn't design it properly, but look at her hat. She's got the two balls and the dick right up there. The two balls also represent the fallopian tubes. Okay? She has 2 and 3 up stars. She has one to the right that is odd and one to the left that is odd. Those numbers, okay, are actually 1 and 9. Okay? The numbers at the bottom to her hand on the left is 7 and 9. The one to the top left is 1 or 10 on the second level. The black line she has, okay, if you notice, her hands are even. It's a go around, come around. It's a control. I drew these, how the connections work. This connection and this connection is the same angle. This one equals 7, this one equals 13. 9 by 4 is 36, 3 and 6 is 9, 6 by 1 is 6, 6 and 6 is 12. 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 3, 9, 7 by 6 is 42, 7 and 6 is 13 is 55 equals 1. 1, 4, 7. This one was split up, I told you it was 3. This one is 9, 396 ESP, the connection between the elevators. The two hockey sticks, if you put them together, this bottom is the ground floor, this is the upper level of the elevator. You take away the top and put these two together, it creates the design for the Montreal Canadiens. It was all a setup. They created the whole thing. The only thing they needed these people to do is to use their head. If they used their head, they were going to be great. And if they didn't use their head, they were going to be nothing. So when Guy Lafleur left hockey, he thought of his hockey and forgot about his son. And it showed and it came back as the flower man who stands for the month of May, who is number 10, the month of May. The 10th of May is the 130th day. That's my address. Meaning, the address, 13th President, reverse 31, Herbert Hoover, Barack Obama. It's my address. She said, we must go into a new world and look for the spirits. If you don't believe it, run downtown. Do you got the balls? Does anybody have the balls for the next 2 days to run downtown with their arms up? Or don't go downtown at all because you're too shy? And downtown now owns you. It owns you. It means you're not an individual, you're part of the crowd, and you may stand out. So what is your value now downtown? Absolutely nothing. You get a minus value of whatever you're doing for somebody else, and nothing is being done for you. Maybe we should take the day off tomorrow to show the spirit of downtown is home, and let's make tomorrow 101, where we get Monday off after the 21st, only for our minds to sit and meditate all day long and eat nothing but drink juice and pineapple juice and make sure it's real. Spend the money. If you don't want to spend the money owns you. And you owe money on the house, that means you are owned by the bank with the money in your pocket. If you're thinking about the bills, the money owns you. If you think about anything other than trying to see another world, then you are being possessed. Because if you can't go there, it's because something is stopping you. And if something is stopping you, then that is the possession it is. So you can see, you will see. Upon your choice you will know, because I have advised you. Advisor of the visor that is front of our eyes, so we don't get to see the whole show. It's too scary. So we learn to shut our eyes. She said get high. Drink a little bit of wine. Watch what they put in it for sugar. Check which kind of wine it is. I'm thinking stick to the Money Shevitz wine. The Jewish wine. A real Jewish wine. Why? Because if this whole system is based on a Jew, they're running the Jewish cycle because I follow it. And they're running, well, basically more than one cycle, but they're based on the Jewish cycle. So they're not going to screw up that Jewish wine. But don't buy the most expensive because you're a pig. And don't buy the cheapest because you're a miser. And don't buy the in-between either. buy one step up. If everything is 10 is the cheapest, is 30 is the most expensive, buy something at 23. Why at 23? 7 minus 23, you have 16, you stand on the one spirit. 7 plus 23 is of all creation. It equals to one angle. It's all in the numbers, my friends. Didn't they tell you that? I am who I am. I'm a player. I play the numbers. I've gambled all my life. And I stopped gambling. I never stopped gambling, really, but I don't do it with money anymore. I do it with whatever I want to get on the dice, because I'm paid off all the time with the new knowledge that I learn. And I'm sharing with you the games of life and the possible meanings. I am, you open me up, and I am. Look what this guy wrote. Ah! So funny. Oh, look what he wrote. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is shit. Oh, this is cool. Oh, that is shit. And this is cool. And that is shit. And shit is cool. And that is good. Up your ass with a rubber duck. Now try to figure it out. The rubber duckling you had in the bath all your life was also up your ass because you sat in the same water. And every time you squeezed them, that water came out. Who knew what was in the duck to start? Frank the duck, he grew so weary. He flew the skies and he was so dreary. As he smoked the weed and took the cane, Frank the duck was so insane. He never wanted to play in the reindeer games. The reindeer game in French says surf. It means to go surfing. Red-nosed reindeer and the surfers of California. What is the point that has been lost in between Frank the duck and all the rest? Is it the sigma of the sig test of the Greek language, number 18, which shows a giant? I'm going to show you this. I used to call this design, I call it sigma. This is how he's designed. This right here, this over here, this is sigma. Okay, hold on, I'll do it the way it is. What it is, okay, you can see the bird that's in it, right? This is the Greek alphabet, okay, sigma. Now what I did with it, okay, is instead of marking it their way, I made my 3 come around again, but I stopped my 3 here for making the 3. This is the loop, okay? When you look at it, it's actually a 2, or the Q letter. And the reason why it's with the Q letter is because the Q, according to me, is the one spirit of 7, which is the total dice. The Q comes with the U, but the E does not, because it is the passage, and the passage is what makes you. So right away you have Q-U-E, and in French it means tail. Q never goes anywhere without U. Earth and Mars. Q never goes anywhere without U. Earth and Mars. Chemistry. Earth and Mars chemistry. Earth as the 5th number and Mars as the 13th. The 13th letter and the 5th letter of both of them. The 4th and the 3rd planet, making a 7. Okay, which brings 4 and 3. In order to make the U, they have to go dead center and work together. Mars and Earth. Then the one spirit crosses over to 6, which is God giving you the spirit heart. And then down the middle is 258, that where she draws a line, she intercepts you and divides you. One is born electronically and real, and the other one is just real on the other side, but he's following your thoughts for goodness or for hate. He's going to do whatever you do. And then the last decision is his own. So Earth and Mars is 5 plus 13 equals 18 Chai, which equals A and H. Ah, the H letter, the 8th letter. Then the 5th letter is the E letter. So now we have part of the H. The 13th letter is A and C. And now we have this right here is what comes out of it. Earth, Mars, 5 and 13. 1, 3, 5, it says ACE, ACE. The 18, 1 and 8th letter, ACHE, says the H letter, A and H. It also represents the R. 5 and 13 is the R letter. 18 is the R letter. Now the R letter supports an A, but I want to show you something different about this R. Okay, this, and now look at this. Indy, let me get rid of it. I got stuff all over the place here. This is the trophies, my friends. This is the Olympics, my friends. This is the Olympics. R. Sound of R. It's A-R-E. So I'm going to add the E on here now. Okay? And I think I'm going to add on the E. You see when you have the extra line on the letter, you can add it on that way. So I'm going to add on the E. So, E. So here's the word. Here's the R, right here, the original. The sound comes over here. It has a flat back to the other side. This is one half of the triangle. Here's the egg, but if you look down here, everything needs a position, don't forget. Everything needs a position. So when you look, it's a bird. See the bird on this side? The canary? Into the ace, into the R. Now I have to put the E. So what I did, okay, is there's a division right here in between this letter and this letter. So I just made a space. And then I followed the leg of the R. And if you look underneath it, it turns into a number 1. If you bring it from this point to this point, and then from this point to this point, it'll turn into a 7, but we're going to use the 1. It says 3, 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1. And over here, you see the 3 that comes off of it? You see, how do I do this? You see the 5L from the 3. No one sees the 3. You see, this is actually the E, but I'm not going down another level, so I stopped it, so it ends up as the F. R, when you put it this way, okay, now I'm going to number 70. R, 70, plus the dot inside the egg. R, 1, F. 1 means the letter M. Why? Because it's the 13. It's the last one. It's 12 on the dice and you become the man of number 13 bar mitzvah. R, M, F. Angel, Ronald, my middle initial, and it's the EF. Because why EF? It's pretty simple. EF is because of the family they're in. I'm in the ETH of Time Heaven family. My grandfather is the Sky family, and EF is F, A, B, C, D, E, and the first one after E is F, and it's the sound dragging the E. But the one before the E is a D, and it's going into the D and saying the D. D, E, E, F. The same thing with the H. The H family says this. Ha! Joker. That's what it says. The next F, after F, it's G. G in E family. Then it becomes H. And it's H because it's the A and E family going on to the second level. I'll show you the levels in a second. H. Then you get the I because the I is in the same family as the E, okay, because of the F. IF. F is 6, I is 9. 69 is our rotation. So I has his own statement. E has its own statement. And I has his own statement. A, I, and E have their own statement. Okay? Which is 1, 5, and 9. 1, 5, and 9 have their own statement. Okay? To make this to 100, it's the Mediterranean, to connect 100%. 100% connect of theirs means 110 because it got our 10%. It's got our total thought, but it still doesn't have the light. It has our complete body, but it still doesn't have the light. And without the light, they ain't got nothing except for you alive and you not. Will, oh my God, I will cut scalps off. This means the ski hill mountains. When it says the ski hill mountains, the scalps, okay, or the Alps, there's something underneath. It's like a door just going to open like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, like an eye of a camera, or not even open at all, but just a little eye that peeks outside to get what it needs to get. And it's only because I'm wearing this shirt. These are where my information is, okay? This is where it all is. Scalp your head, because it's all underneath. If it's underneath there, then it's in the Alps and under the scalps. So the Alps and scalps, where would it be? Well, Flagstaff, up to Utah, Colorado, up into the mountains of California, but you can't really call them mountains, but they're actually tops of mountains broken apart over time. I don't know where it is to go in California to be safe, but I do know one thing. Cameras, walkie-talkies, be together in groups of 7 or 8. After you pass 7 or 8, you're off the key of the piano and they will assume something. Always make sure that groups are within 2 stretches of the arm from each other. But keep no contact except for maybe once a day, just one word. That would be it. As the groups grow, that is your safety net. Everybody will pitch in and do something different. What am I talking about? It's not that it's private what I'm saying. You have to know what I'm talking about, because I'm not allowed to say. It's in the game for me also. There's certain things I can't say, and it's not a secret. You already know, except you want me to think for you, and I'm not allowed to think for you. I can only show you the road. Rest in peace. 1RA. 118. But even Mars and Earth, the only 2 U's that are not in it, because the U is in you when you associate the 2. So the question would come like this. We have the ace. Do we need anything else? If we don't need anything else, then what would happen is Mercury is going to pick up, it's going to fly over towards Earth. Jupiter is going to open its mouth, it's going to swallow the 2 of them up, and the 2 planets are going to go away, and they're going to say, okay, goodbye. Oh, wait a second. What? Yeah, Earth 3, Earth 35. Not the Earth we're on right now. It's almost like in that Spartan movie, the Russians, where they swallow up the planet and they put it somewhere else in the sky. You really don't see anything because you just can't. But you're dizzy for a few days because you're getting used to the new sky. And all of a sudden, once your eyes pick up and once your heart becomes pure, you will start to see the change, my friend. You are going to make the change automatically. It's going to be in your head and not in your bed, and not the head getting down or her getting down. It's time to think. To take that tail between our legs and lift it up and show our ass and smell a little bit of what we've been coughing, which is another thing. The coffee. Coffee, 366655. When you reverse that, it becomes 99966, a full house. 3 9s and the 2 6s. That's what the coffee says. So that means it's good for both sides, but on the other side value, it's going to be 11144, which is connected to the pigs in this world. The other one is the freedom, because it brought the worlds to a 10-10. 3 666. 666 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 3 by 18 is 54. 54 over 165, which means it over creation, which means it over creation, which means it is the 29th corner, and that only stands for God to me. He only took with him 10 properties, and he cut off the railways, and he started out at Reading and cut it off at Pennsylvania, and the best you can do is visit jail. Connecticut, Vermont. Since these numbers are strong now, that means Connecticut is against us. Not against us as a state, but a statement of the mind. There's a connection that's against us, and the upcoming has to come from all the oceans and in between. Almost like viruses, the same way the veins of the body would work is the way they would work, because that's the way they know how to get around everything, and that's the way everything was created is created. So we bring this chapter down to the add-on in the book, where it's marijuana is good to smoke, and if you don't want to smoke it, it's because you're a chicken to see what the other world is like, and now you can no longer say, I never smoked it. What, do you want to be unique and not try things that everybody else is? Smoke it like a man. Get scared out of your tree, or relax to it and take in the new vision, my friends. Take in the new visions. If you can go to Jamaica and say the say that they say, be happy. And they smoke the weed. And I have a friend of mine who was smoking with me in school, and he was a hot dude. I mean, he was crazy in his head, and when he smoked, I mean, he was just so much fun, and he was always zest to go out. Your zest to life is your zest to go out, because sometimes you're sitting home and your eyes start to close. When you smoke marijuana, you're sitting down and your eyes start to close, but now you're going into the other world. Close them a little bit more and enter into the other world. You can only open and close one eye into the other world, and that eye can peek all alone and close it and open it. But if you don't let it, it'll never go. There's not a halfway into this. It's an all the way. I think Ron Paul has the decision. Bringing babies into this world stoned is not the right way. You need to go one full cycle of the moon. But if you bring them in, as your stone is a natural high and a little bit of marijuana, when you bring in that child, he'll have that marijuana zest inside of him. The giddy up and get up and go that all the kids are starting to have now because of all the parents who smoke marijuana, who are very strict and didn't smoke any. The two sides. A little bit is not bad in the system. It sort of bubbles it up. We need a little bit of bubbles, otherwise they wouldn't sell Pepsi and Coke. And Coke tells us a story. Silver, white. That square in the center is God. That's the square world, the corners where all the mice is. It's all in those bubbles when you burp and it changes your... Oh, what was I thinking about? What was I thinking about? What was I thinking about? And now this guy's laughing. Shut up, and hey, what are you doing? And all of a sudden, we're not in an argument. We're participating in someone's burp. So you see, it just takes you away from it. Everything is coming so much faster than I ever thought. In October of 2010, I made a video. I said, watch out for November 11, 2010. Then I came back next year and said, watch out for November 11, 2011. Now I'm coming back to say, watch out before 2012 of November 11th. And are they saying that because it will happen on November 11th as a date to remember? That's the end day. of the first week of the moon. You put it in the middle to represent back 4 days and forward 4 days. Back is Wednesday, Sunday to Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday, and the other one, okay, is Sunday to Saturday to Friday to Thursday to Wednesday. They tie up one corner of the week. It's numbers. That's all it is. It's only numbers. All I'm telling you is water is very important in the house. So if you're going to buy water, buy the 100% apple juice. It looks a little sandy with 0% vitamin C. This is not the time to attract the sun right now. Okay, this is not a good time for the sun. The air, the sun, the waters, the Aquarius, the time we move, this is not a good period for the sun. We are on the 31st of today. In 5 days, 4 days from now, it'll be the 25th. It'll almost be like the 4th of November. 4 days from the 21st, or 4 days from the 31st. The halfway point is the 26th, but we don't want to go halfway. We want to be at midnight. You want that apple juice with those 75 different kinds of bacteria that they have in it is very good for you. Otherwise they wouldn't sell the stuff on the market with no vitamin C, no absorbic acid. Don't buy any absorbic acid. Now I'm going on the limb here. I'm going on the limb for a reason that absorbic acid is a AA. And AA is alpha omega, and it can't be you're the alpha omega of what it happens in you. So it becomes a blackjack ace with a 1 ace making 12. 1 and 12 is 13. 3 and 1 is the 4 surroundings around you. They're drying up the insides of you. It's easier to vibrate, to scratch when you're wetless inside of you. There's a good juice that's called, I call it the 3 reds. It's cherry and wild berry, and that juice doesn't have any absorbic acid. Cranberry, the big cranberry, but the pure one. You have to look. They trick you with what they say. Read. Don't look for vitamin C. Very important, carrot juice right now. They just brought out a new carrot juice on the market. I was scared to take it, but I have to buy it. They just increased the vitamin A that's inside of it. When you increase vitamin A, you increase A, H, J, K, and R. 1 to 18 is 19. You've increased everything under the moon. You can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain or in the Copper Ocean or the sea, whatever the song is saying. You want to buy time. I will teach you how to buy time. Everybody should buy time just to eat it raw the way it is. Cut it up a little bit. No salad dressing, even though the pickle is a big relish to everybody. The pickle, the mysterious pickle no one ever talks about. And they put it and they sell it hot and spicy, because you got to sell the pickle hot and spicy because of all the little membranes in our penis. So you sell that pickle hot and spicy. 1 to 18 is 19, it's the moon, it's the ace and 9, it's the A and the I, you're the J. You says I have the brain. You must buy liquids. Do not worry about the food. My diet is not strict, but I know what I'm eating. I buy 4 different kinds of apples. That would make like 700 different kinds of different bacterias. And I stay away, I would take the orange, not the orange juice, the orange. Okay, it's really orange. Okay, not the pink grapefruit. The pink grapefruit is still a mystery to me. If you do take the pink grapefruit, what I do suggest to all 3 of these is to put a little bit, I'm not sure. They talk about the lemon and your kids. Now, which one is better? The lemon, the lime, or do we stay away from the lemon and lime? Because I'm putting a drop in each one, almost like a reminder of the bitterness of time. Salmon, I'm eating. Even if they're still putting into the oceans, lakes, you must eat. And I eat the roe because it is the gold, and it says it in its name in French, OR, the gold, the operating room, where it brings in. So I eat salmon. I eat salmon about 4 days a week, and I usually mix it up with already pre-mixed stuff. I do not cook any of it. I do not cook any of it. I go out every single day for fresh. I make sure that the look has the look of what the sushi look has, or I can't buy it. I can see right away by looking at it. Now, am I a prize and gem? Absolutely not. You see what I'm getting here? Am I a prize and gem? My ex-wife comes here, couldn't bring me a coffee. She didn't want to spend the $2, so I bought it off for her. But she drank it with her lipstick, and I just drank her lipstick. 1958, she was born. I'm 63. 58, which represents 1 and 2, and 63, which represents life. 63 and 50, and 63 and 8 is 71. 71 is 50 is 121. 11/11, me and my wife in birth of years. My son turns the dice cube of 21. I've already been sent messages. I have to patrol. The trolls will be out after him, and he will get the scare of his life. Unless he remembers the golden rule, the purity inside the truth of who he is will only bewilder him within the night, as he has smoked the ganja and has seen the other side, and he will know not to go down that road. And on that night, he will become a prince inside my book in the Revelations. Because I do have to find a prince to the ending who will take over my throne, who will become the Mr. Tackpans, not 2, but the Mr. Tackpans, whatever his name is. That's why they kept going King George I, King George II. No, you carry on the name. That is on December 9th, which is 12 days from the 21st of the Mayans, which is the top part of 9 and 12 of Rubik's Cube. He is the undercut of me. I am 49, he is 21, we are 70. If we are 70, then we are 70 Reich. Me and my son have been all born in the second round. Why? Because we sort of made a mistake in my first time I did it with somebody. We got rid of that one. My son is number 2, so he becomes number 1 and 2. 1 and 2, when you design it together, the 1 and 2, the 1 and 2 from the old greats, 1 and 2, you now have an R. Ron and Don, RD, third. We are third, and his mother is third. She's born in 58, that's 319 moons plus 1, her birth. Right at the beginning, April 30th. 30 plus 4 is a 7 of the O creation. 7 times O is 105, is the game of life. And she is tough on me like shit. And only because of her, I think I grew up. Said to her one thing in my life, I said, I need you to remind me of something for the rest of my life that I'm going to be with you. Remind me that I must be home and that the gamble in life must be second. And the only thing she can tell me was, you do whatever you got to do, it's not my problem. And I did everything wrong. Right and wrong at the same time, but right and wrong because now where I did everything wrong, I ain't got a friend. I ain't got a friend. I got a friend, but I don't have the heart friend. So my heart friend comes within my own mind. I don't make it up. I generalize and then bring everything to a T and say, that's the way it is. I was like this in my playpen playing all alone, and now I'm playing with the same tone and the same things. The rules of the games, the same thing as when I was a child. Ron and Don, third. He comes from a house of the fruit. The house of Noel was his grandfather. The house of L and F, 666, my grandfather. He comes from my house, 666, 13, 6. He comes from my grandfather, 66. He comes from my grandmother, the Mary of 76. We branch as a tree and we grow. And because of the options we were updated in life, if we think good, everyone will be able to see under the halo, and we will all join in the final forces of this move into the new world, which is in year number 3, but this is actually the 15th year that we are into this new world. This is the 15th year. The 16th year, 4 presidents later, we've made a whole cube. This is the 15th year. And if Jesus was born at 3 BC, it would say 2015. It's the 15th year because it all ended in 1998. It overlapped in 1999. There is no 2000. Right now, it's more like 5,000. But it doesn't go to 5,000 either. Because it all has to do with how 470 went together. 47 Christ, 470 to the J God. Double that because we came into the two worlds is 940. 94, 9 by 4 is 36 is creation. 36 is when I was born of the 10 world of the fourth date of the fourth corner. That's why the 6 only says you're trapped inside by your hips. I don't remember where I was. I was talking about the corner in the hips and time of 1998. 1998 is because 9 by 8 is 72. 9 by 9 is 81. It talks about everything. It would be exactly in the middle of the two moons because it connects the old worlds and it backs up back to 98 when it's really the year 2000, but it has to back up 2 years to overlap those 2 years of creation, 2 and 2, which makes the 4 year of the leap. It only takes one leap. Takes one leap, 0.25 of 1 year, which is last year. And then this year, it takes the whole day, which is 1.25, which is the 13 moons, which is leaving over 364 days, which is 688 of 384 of the Jewish calendar, which is the difference of 20, which is J2, which is 20, which is T. T, J, and I are the only three, along with 1, that cut center in half. T, J, and I is 10 Jack, T letter, J letter, and C letter with God, or the creation. So we would be actually, right now, from the year 2000, we'd be in the 12th year ending. That would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 0 year ending. 12, 13. So when we start back in 1998 to now, it's 14 years. That's the cross of Christ, because we overlapped. We're breaking off now. It's the break off of this. This is a bubble. Imagine I finished this bubble. We're breaking off of this right now. And Andreas wants to come into the new world. Andreas comes from Reboot. You have to watch it. You have to watch The Matrix. You have to listen to the names and categorize them and put them together according to what they do. What brought it together really and much more was Bob and Bobbing for Apples and 2 more apples, which was Bob, Enzo, Dot, and Frisket. With Fong. Fong, O-N-G, the gong of the Fong, the gong show. The monkey, the apes, Hong Kong, King Kong. The time has changed to where this is what's happening. We're moving from one into another. The eye, this is an eye standing. This is the in-between eye. This is the in-between eye. This is the eye standing. The eye standing. Wait a second. You see the lady there with the heart? You see the indentation at the bottom? I'm going to show you. You saw it now before I end this? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where's that indentation? What am I looking for? Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. The indentation. The indentation. There's this. And where's the indentation? There's the indentation. There's the world. I don't remember what I was looking at. Wow. Maybe if I show it back to you. The indentation. The indentation shows that this part of the world, in here, and this world, 1 1/4. And then it does the same thing over here. It'll take this world here. Here's the 1 1/4 right here. We're moving from one moon to the next. We're here. We were here. Now we're going here. We'll be here. And we'll be here. Back and forth. Here, we'll tell you about here. Up here. See the eyes? All the little animals, all the little eyes, the moons. Now 2012, it's 15 years, and 15 represents 3 times 15 is 45 an angle. times 8. So you have to go 3 times 15 makes the angle, times 8 is the 24 angles of the 15, which makes it 360 degrees round. Okay? But when you're 360 degrees round, there's always an eye that's left in the other world. Because you're always in 3 worlds at once. Below, and then you have an eye at the bottom that's connecting 3 worlds again, an eye at the top, but then it connects rainbow worlds. What was in the past. Not last year, but 10 years ago. What was in the past. And they bring 10 to 5 to 1, so we see all the difference, so the conscience will be able to notice it if you're up for playing the game. So now we added this add-on to the book, okay, we backed up all the chapters where we brought marijuana to be needed to be smoked. Now if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but if you're not smoking it now and trying to go into the other world and do good, the next 4 days are so important that if you feel and you do this and you see if anything should happen, not just the 4 days, I'm talking from now to the rest of the year, then you've already done the goodness of your heart, so whatever happens, you're going to be happy. There's no look back and saying, what I could have done. It's going to your wife and your child and your friend and says, hey man, let's sit down and listen to some old tunes, because the tunes are now coming true. Raphael 7286. We are in the book of the myth of Zazareth. I've been writing this book for almost 40 years, slowly in poetry, gathering and learning information. All I'm giving you is the results of the find. This is not telling about what's going to happen in the world. This is telling you what's in my book, based on the numbers of the world. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. No more. It's the book. A page that is written. But I'm sharing it with everybody because I'm probably going to forget and never get this published, so it'll never get out onto the market. So I decided to just do it every single day and say everything I said, so everybody knows they're not looking at a book that was written 8 months ago, studied by 200 men, because everything I do is off the top of my head and with a little notepad on the side, and that's it. Now you know the authenticity of the book and with inside who I am. So once you know and understand who I am, now you can really see the truth of what I'm trying to do in this book. Raphael 7286. Based on the constellation of 7286 and what they say is the home of Pegasus, the true horse of the night. Thank you.